35 seconds remaining. 10 seconds to shoot. LeBron driving to the rim and in! Plus a foul! LeBron flexing in front of the crowd, and the Lakers lead 113-108.
And the Lake Show take a 3-1 series lead. Time to close this thing out on Wednesday night.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Big is back. It's bigger. It's cheesier. The Big New Yorker for Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker only at pizzahut.com.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Lakers over the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 4 here at Crypto.com Arena. 117-111 the final score in OT. LeBron James leads the Lakers with 22 points, 20 rebounds, 7 assists, couple block shots, and plays 45 minutes for the Lakers. Just incredible at age 38 that LeBron's still doing it. Some big moments from Austin Reeves. 23 points and 6 assists for him. Couple big buckets. Played 42 minutes for the Lake Show. D'Angelo Russell. You know, I'm always typically pretty critical about D'Angelo Russell. There's times where I don't understand what he's doing on offense, and tonight he shut me up when the Lakers were down 7, and he hits 3 threes in crunch time and comes through for the Lakers. I don't think the game goes to overtime unless D'Angelo Russell did what he did. So some big-time performances for the Lakers. Dennis Schroeder always contributing as well. Impressive win. That's it. That's all I can say. And it doesn't have to look beautiful. It doesn't have to look pretty. This was going to be a dogfight. And the bottom line in this game is it's a W, and the Lakers are up 3-1. Don't pay attention to anything else. If the Memphis Grizzlies won this game, they wouldn't care what it looked like. They just want to know that is it tied 2-2 or are we down 3-1? They're down 3-1. In playoff battles, especially when a team understands that they're in almost a no-win situation if they lose this, the desperation that Memphis was going to come with, Lakers had a game where they had an advantage. They had an opportunity to take advantage of a series and go up 2-0. They didn't do that. But tonight, it's a different story. And even though it took overtime, even though it was incredibly difficult, even though there were moments where, you know, first half Lakers were up 15 and the next thing you look at halftime, it's only a 2-point game, they won the game. I don't want to simplify it like that, but I think sometimes you have to simplify it. This is it's still going to be a dogfight to finish up the series, but 3-1, I feel a lot better than 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, not knowing what the result was going to be. Need a break from the everyday? Well, fans, it might be your lucky day because tonight Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving away a 2-night stay, plus dinner and golf or bowling for 2. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. Phone number is 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. So if you're out driving around, you just left Crypto.com Arena, or if you're listening on the ESPN LA app or on any of our social platforms, you could always feel free to call in, and happy to take your call as the postgame show progresses. Let's start off with Coach. Here is Darvin Ham on the Lakers' big win over the Memphis Grizzlies.
Darvin, as you kind of catch your breath from that one, what stands out the most from the end of the fourth quarter and on into overtime that made the difference for you down the stretch?
Just the way we attacked each possession on both sides of the ball. We had a next play, refuse to quit mentality. I'm so proud of our guys, man, the way we fought. You know, we've told them since day one, we want to be the most competitive, together ball club for 48 minutes or however long it takes. And today it took 53. But again, us just figuring out a way, finding a way. Everybody's pulling in the same direction. And shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies, man, a hell of a ball club. Hell of a ball club. We knew we were going to have our hands full with those guys facing a deficit. And so, you know, we had some moments in the game that weren't too pretty. But, again, we just kept chipping away possession by possession. Didn't get discouraged. Didn't fall apart. Again, had some unfortunate segments. But for the most part, guys came together and dug our heels in the sand when it came time to make the right plays.
Darvin, I'm not sure how often you want LeBron taking charges like that when I'm on the court, but can you talk just about his will to win tonight and doing all of the little things that he did?
You know, he understands the timing of everything. You know, the known of what happened yesterday and the unknown of tomorrow, it makes him even more entrenched in today, into the moment. And all of his travels, all of the phenomenal things he's accomplished, again, he still has that passion, that grit to want to be on top and to want to put his team in position the right way to be successful. And that's what you saw. 20 rebounds, 15 defensive rebounds, the plays, him communicating with the coaches, him communicating with his teammates, trying to figure out not his way or somebody else's way, but the best way for us to go about, you know, giving ourselves a chance to win. And, you know, that's just who he's been his entire career. That's who he's been. All about making the right play, whether it's for himself or someone else. Understand that in order for us to get all of our other guys to do and make the right plays and sacrifice themselves, he has to be at the top of that list, and that's what those charges represented. You know, him doing whatever it takes to put us in the position to succeed.
Darvin, after game 2, way back here. After game 2, AD said that if I play like this, we can't win. How did you guys survive an off night from him offensively? And then, secondly, you mentioned LeBron sort of his will to win 80 huge baskets, I think a tip, and that kind of hustle play to start overtime. How big was that for him to get something out of tonight? Those were huge. And, you know, no matter what happens in the game, you got to continuously look forward. You got to look forward to the next possession. As long as there's possessions left in the game, you know, you cry, you moan over certain things that's not going your way. And that frustration, that stress can bleed into 3, 4, 5 of the next plays. So you got to have a short memory in terms of things that are happening. Obviously, and specifically the negative things that you may experience during the course of a game and a playoff game. And he just kept fighting through. And, you know, other guys had to step up and chip in. You know, we saw Bron in his closing performance just doing everything on both sides of the ball. But I got to give a huge shout out again to D'Angelo Russell. I mean, we were flailing at best offensively, and he was able to catch fire. And, man, he put us on his back offensively and put us back in position to have a chance to close the gap, eclipse it, and walk away with the win. You know, if D'Lo doesn't play the way he played, we don't win this game.
Mark. Hey, Darvin, another one on 80. What's the medical staff said on how he's been hanging in with his hip issues and all that?
Well, he's hanging in there, man. You know, it's definitely hurting, but it's something that's not, you know, something that's going to keep him out. We just have to manage it the best we can, and it's constant around-the-clock treatment.
Darvin, you just mentioned D'Lo, but those 3 threes in the middle of the fourth before he fouled out, how critical was that stretch of the game? And he had kind of been having a quiet game up to that point, and then he just unleashes with those 3.
It was huge. You know, he laughs and we joke. You know, it's like he said, I can miss 5 in a row and I can go turn around and make 10 in a row. And I was actually thinking about that as he was knocking them down. But, you know, just him just staying ready to be aggressive, staying ready in attack mode. We need that. Just like we needed Vando's energy early. And Vando knocked down a couple of corner threes. You know, his presence, his activity on Ja. It's obviously not an easy matchup by any stretch of the imagination. And Dennis's his performance defensively with Ja. I mean, we just got contributions from all over the place. And, you know, D'Lo, again, right at the top of that list, along with Bron and several others, that allowed us to get in a position to come out on top.
Yeah, Darvin, even after all this time, do you find yourself amazed at LeBron? Do you ever say wow while you're watching him? Oh, absolutely.
But at the same time, we can always get better. And when we break down our film, we see things during the point in the game, the clips we watch at halftime. he's not perfect. Sometimes there's breakdowns, but at the end of the day, he's a guy that can quickly recalibrate and not make the same mistake twice. And so, and some of it is fatigue. I mean, we're pushing them hard. They're playing more minutes. Obviously overtime game. But this is what it's about. This is what the load management is about. For these guys to be able to exert themselves at a higher level at this time of the year. But he's nothing short of amazing, man. But it doesn't surprise me. If you watch him every day and see how he prepares, then he's putting himself in the best position to be not just available to play or to play, well in stretches, but to be elite at the top of the list in terms of, how he performs for his team. So, yes, it's really, really special. I don't take it for granted to be in this position to be able to coach him.
All right, that's Darvin Ham right there. It is kind of interesting. I find myself, and I'm sure a lot of people watching the game, listening to the game, or being at the arena, you gotta just take a step back. It's his 20th season. He's played over 260 playoff games. 260 playoff games on top of the 20 years, and at age 38. Listen, Laker fans, it's not perfect. LeBron was 1 for 7 from 3. It's not ideal. At the same time, at the biggest moments, LeBron's has the ball in his hands, and he's either making a decision like getting it to Dennis Schroeder in the Minnesota Timberwolves game, or in this game deciding I'm going to drive to the basket, I'm going to try to get 2 in regulation when we're down 2, and does it with just 0.8 seconds left. How about the defensive stop in regulation? AD blocks Ja Morant, Brown grabs the ball, throws a 60-footer, and it goes in. Of course, it didn't count. And then in OT, obviously, what he was able to do. Okay, when we come back, we're going to take some of your phone calls. Austin Reeves also had a very critical game for the Lakers with 23 points and 6 assists. When we come back, we'll get a chance to hear from Austin Reeves. We'll take some of your phone calls. Stay right here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
George.
it's cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. $13.99 Big New Yorker, only at pizzahut.com.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, 117 to 111, the final score. Lakers in OT. Big time win. Lakers now up 3-1 in the series. Incredible game. It really was exciting at Crypto, and I'm sure for everybody who got a chance to either listen on the broadcast or watch it on TNT or Spectrum. It's the type of playoff game, this is what you're looking for. Anytime you watch playoff basketball, you want something to come down towards the end. You want something to be exciting, and this certainly delivered. And most importantly, Lakers got a 2-game cushion on the Memphis Grizzlies. Look, we'll have time to talk about Game 5. We'll have a couple of days to talk about it. It certainly is going to be tough to close out the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis fights. Ja Morant, the way he throws his body around, I hate to watch it because I feel like I'm cringing every time he flies through the air and falls, whether it was AD took a charge, LeBron took a charge. He almost flipped in the LeBron James play. So you got to appreciate their fight. But I appreciate it more when I know the Lakers got to win. Now, either way, obviously you appreciate the way they're playing now. It's kind of interesting. Tim McMahon of ESPN said that Dylan Brooks didn't speak to reporters for the second straight game, and Ja Morant also did not talk to reporters. There was one quote, this came a few minutes ago. Desmond Bane blamed a lack of game plan discipline for allowing LeBron James' overtime forcing drive. He noted that the two Grizzlies on the right side of the floor needed to help those players, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane. So it sounds like a few of the guys did not do their job. There's a lot of times, I'm going to use as an example, if anybody watched that Sacramento Kings Golden State Warriors game yesterday, what good teams, I don't want to say good teams, but the game plan is usually get the ball out of the best player's hand and make somebody else beat you. And Memphis was not able to do that with Bron in regulation, and Bron did. And look, it was a tough shot. He shot over Xavier Tillman, also shot over Jaren Jackson Jr., the Defensive Player of the Year. So it's a tough bucket. Give LeBron credit, but Desmond Bane pointing that out. All right, let's take a few phone calls here, and then we'll get to Austin Reeves. Let's start out with Ben in Hollywood. Ben, what's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Hey, how's it going, Sliwa?
Good, buddy.
Thought it was a great game, first of all. Thought LeBron literally carried us for the majority of that game, and D'Lo, like you mentioned. But I do have a question, kind of switching gears here. Going to the Warriors and the Kings series, I have a little debate with some friends, also some Laker fans, that they want the Kings to win the series, and they want us to play the Kings. But I think, as Laker fans, we aren't allowed to cheer for the Kings based off our history as almost technically one of our rivals. Would you agree with that, or what do you think about that?
I appreciate you calling in, Ben. Well, you can't cheer for the Warriors. Basically, we have to play nobody then, if this is the case. I don't look at it from that perspective, to be honest with you. I look at it more, what would be a better matchup for the Lakers? It's interesting what happened here in the last, 32 hours or so. The Kings were a bucket away from going up 3-1. Lakers were, if Memphis got to stop, being tied 2-2. This is playing out the Lakers' way because you got Sacramento and Golden State that looks like they're in a battle, and there's a good chance it goes 7. Let's see the severity and how De'Aaron Fox looks in the next game. But the fact that could go 7 and the Lakers have a chance to at least wrap it up in 5, it means the Lakers can get some real rest. A preference of who to play, I said this morning and I'll say it again. I look at the teams that have a ton of experience in the playoffs, that have been doing it for a long time, that have championship pedigree, seems like a tougher matchup than a young team that's incredibly impressive in the Sacramento Kings. They just haven't been there before. But let's get through this series first, and we got plenty of time to talk about round 2. Let's go to Oscar in Baldwin Hills. Oscar, what's going on?
Baldwin Park, please. Baldwin Park.
All right, Baldwin Park. My bad, brother. My bad.
No worries, no worries. Hey, man, good. It's a great game, man. I know we won the championship in 2020. We had the next year we were in the playoffs, man, but this felt like a real playoff game. Back at home, it was a hard-fought game. I was going to get ready to rip Anthony as a new one if we lost, but they won. He got that shot on Morant at the end of regulation. And LeBron, man, this guy, I'm always a diehard Kobe, and there's a whole other story about that, but this guy's becoming, he's a Laker, man. We got to give him his respect, enjoy him while he's here, and let's go Lakers, man. It goes out in Memphis. Rest in peace, my primo Sheldon. Lakers fans, buenas noches.
Oscar, I appreciate the call, brother. Thank you for calling in. Okay, so let me say this on the Bron thing. Laker fans have a very it's an interesting relationship at times. I've always tried to say, don't compare LeBron to any other Laker. There's no point in doing it. He's going to have played a very small portion of his career. Not small. I mean, 5 years is not a small portion. We'll see how long LeBron ends up playing with the Lakers. But don't try to compare Bron with other Lakers. Just leave LeBron in his own window of what were you able to do when you represent in the purple and gold. That's the way you should look at LeBron James. No other way. LeBron did not spend his entire career with the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron has won other championships with other franchises. LeBron has been a finals MVP representing other teams other than the Los Angeles Lakers. He also has a championship with the Los Angeles Lakers. Also has a championship with the Lakers and has a finals MVP. I don't know what's going to happen this year. I don't know how the rest of this year is going to go, but no one can question what Bron has done and what he's still trying to do at age 38. All right, let's take a listen here. Here's Austin Reeves, 23 points for him, 6 assists and 4 rebounds on the Lakers win.
Could you relay just the level of physicality in that game, kind of what it felt like, and in that context to see LeBron in year 20, get the 20 rebounds, make that big and one down the stretch, and kind of carry you guys part of the way through that OT?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the game was physical, as they all have been. But the most important or the most impressive thing to me is the 45 minutes. At his age, the way he takes care of himself and puts the work in is a testament to what he does every night. A lot of people would say he's not supposed to make that shot, so we like it.
Austin, you and D'Lo always support each other, compliment each other. What can you say about your running mate tonight?
A lot. I mean, he came in the fourth and made 2 back-to-back threes, maybe 3. I can't remember. But it was, I think it got to 7. I think it was like 90 when he checked in the game and hit 2 back-to-back threes. So anytime, he has success, anybody has success on the court, I'm happy for him. And everybody in the locker room, the main goal is to win, regardless of, percentage, all that. AD goes 4 for 13. You go see him in the locker room, you'd think he 18 for 25, 40 points, is as happy as he is. So it's just a good group of guys that, care about each other.
Austin, the atmosphere in this building, but also throughout the course of this season, those MVP chants for you at the line have been getting louder and louder. I guess, what does it mean to you to hear that energy and know this fan group supports you so much?
I mean, it's love. I've said many a times, I'm clearly not in the MVP race, but the way that they support me, the way I believe that they love the way that I play. I'm going to give it everything I got every night. And like I've said many a times, I play for this organization in front of these fans that, expect this. They expect us to, be in the playoffs and winning games and competing to, go all the way. But, just as far as the MVP stuff is special, it's a dream come true. And if you'd have told me that, 2 years ago, I'd have told you were crazy.
Dan?
Austin, down here.
Oh.
2 questions for you. Did you get a chance to see the look on LeBron's face after he had the potential and one when he, in overtime, did you see the emotion in him?
No, he was looking the other way, but I'm sure he was screaming or something. I had to go check it out.
He was. And then Can you just talk a little bit about the job you guys did on Jaren and Ja tonight? I mean, those are two all-stars for the Grizzlies, and neither one of them was able to get into any kind of real meaningful rhythm tonight.
Yeah, it's just team defense, and the schemes that the coaches have put for us to go out and try to execute. You can't. You look, last game, Ja has 45, gets in a big rhythm. But I felt like we came out and Vando to start the game did really good, kind of making it hard for him. And then AD on the other end with Jaren, just trying to muck it up and do anything you can do to make the game hard for them. Obviously, they're really good players and know how to, fight through that kind of stuff. But as tough as you can make it for them, the better for us.
All right, that's Austin Reeves right there on the Lakers win. Let's grab a quick call here. Blake in Rancho Cucamonga. What's going on, Blake?
Uh-oh. What's good? Yes, sir. AD, slow night. It's okay. But guess what? He coming back game 5 to close him out, gentleman's sweep. Bron did what Bron does. D-Lo came through in the clutch, and that's all I wanted to say.
Blake, I appreciate you calling, brother. Thank you for calling in. Yeah, the AD piece is interesting. Listening to Darvin Ham saying that he's basically playing through his injury. I think for this round, and by the way, that maybe makes it even more critical to have won this game. But big picture, I'm not sure what that injury looks like and how much impact it has on AD the rest of the way. But AD was quiet, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Did have 4 block shots, did have 2 steals. What is he up to now? Is he up to, what does he have, 19 blocks in the series so far, something like that? Just an incredible stat of what he's doing on the defensive side. And 4 of 13 from the field, but still played 42 minutes for the Lakers. All right, let's take a quick listen here. Dennis Schroeder on the Lakers win.
Let's take us through that overtime and just the defense that it took to get it done and just that electric atmosphere. Felt like a Game 7, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we did a great job just competing, in overtime. Everybody scrambling, giving everything we have, and I think that's that's the reason why we won. Shout out to AD, Bron, D-Lo before he got fouled out, hitting those 3 threes. Big time for us. AR, of course. I mean, it's a great team effort, and it's first to 4. Now we go into Memphis and try to close it out.
Yeah, it's those things that people won't talk about a lot, right? Like Rui coming off the bench, making some big-time defensive plays. Bron with 20 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean, everybody chipping in, everybody doing their job. And if we do that, we're really hard to beat. And we just got to do it game by game, possession by possession. And then we'll be really good.
Darvin praised your effort on the defensive end. What was your mentality on that end of the court tonight?
I mean, Ja is difficult coverage. He's a great player. But, I mean, we're doing, like I said, it was a team effort. Everybody shifting when he plays pick and roll. Everybody helping me and Vando when Vando starts on him. Just competing on the highest level. Try to get stops. Of course, you're going to make some tough ones, but luckily we got the dub tonight.
You had mentioned coming back to L.A. to feel this crowd. Have you felt that the last 2 games?
For sure. Great home crowd. I mean, we didn't have that, when I was here first time. It was like 7,000 people for the playoffs. And, I mean, right now it's a great atmosphere. They carried us as well. And we just got to keep it going.
All right, that's Dennis Schroeder right there. Crowd certainly was incredible tonight. Lakers get the win in OT. 117-111 the final score. All right, let's squeeze in another call here, and then I want to go to D'Angelo Russell. Let's go to Eric in Marina Del Rey. What's going on, Eric?
Yo, playoff Sliwa. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? Thank you for calling in.
Ooh, what a game. Oh, listen, I have a question about the next game, but before I say that, I don't think Laker fans should have to, apologize for liking LeBron, being oh, I'm a Kobe fan, but hey, LeBron's great. We could love both guys, right?
Of course you can. I never...
Anyway.
I never understood, to be honest with you, Eric, there's literally no reason to combine the two. Kobe is his own, the greatest to ever play for the purple and gold, did it for 20 years. We know everything that he accomplished. Bron is a chapter in the Lakers book. That's all he is. So I don't understand why there is some of those comparisons. But what were you going to say about Game 5?
I couldn't agree with you anymore. So with Game 5, so with AD kind of banged up, LeBron playing over 40 minutes, how would you approach next game? Like if, for instance, you, like at one point, like let's say like around the half or something, we're down like 10 or 15. Like how long until maybe, I don't want to say pull the guys because you have to win the game, but like what would you do with their minutes for the next specifically LeBron?
So, and Eric, I appreciate you calling in. I get the question. This is going to be this is why it's so critical to try to end this series as soon as possible, because you already got the benefit in the beginning of the series with the rest. You got 4 days off before the series even started after you beat Minnesota in the play-in. So the rest is critical for the Lakers. As far as Game 5 goes, you're trying to wrap the show up, and that's the best way that I can put it. And you're not paying attention to minutes. You're not paying attention to trying to plan for a Game 6 until it's time to plan for a Game 6. Now, if it's in the fourth quarter, there's 6 minutes left to go and you're down 20, and you don't think there's a shot of ending the series, and now you got to start preparing for flying back to L.A. for Game 6, that's a different conversation. I think they'll have that conversation when they get there. Here's D'Angelo Russell on the Lakers win, and I'm very curious to hear about his big-time buckets there in the fourth quarter.
D'Lo, games like that, there's going to be moments, and you had yours, those 9 straight points. Just kind of take us through those couple of minutes to get the team back in it.
It was just free-flowing, honestly. I think it just kind of happened, being in the right place at the right time, to get an opportunity to make something happen, take advantage of it. Simple as that.
How has round 2 been for you in a Laker uniform, especially you think of these last 2 games at home, playoff atmosphere? I know you've been a part of a lot of big things, Kobe's last game, but it's been pretty electric.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Laker fan, honestly. I tell my people that. Never been a team fan because you're actually in it, but to be through the storm and be here again and get to witness some of the things I witnessed, it's fair to say that I'm a fan. But it's good, honestly. They treat me really well with open arms, welcoming me since I've been here. It's been a good feeling.
How physical has this series been through 4 games, obviously playoffs?
It's good. It's what you expect. They're a tough team. They've been physical all year, so to get the opportunity to match their physicality and get the win at the same time is always a good feeling.
D'Angelo had such a big fourth quarter in Game 3, and tonight you guys kind of walled them off. How were you able to do that?
I mean, he's good. He does it every night. I mean, it's hard to stop that dude. He's making jump shots. He's getting to the free throw line at the rate that he's doing. It's still hard to stop him. So it's a team effort. I think we're making them feel us, in the paint, off screens, whenever we can. We're making them feel us, and the results, and that's been a win. So it's cool.
You guys still haven't been together all that long, but how's it felt?
Imagine training camp or something it was like, right?
Yeah, but how about like these last 3 weeks from the plan, or 2.5 weeks from the plan through these first 4 games? Does it feel like it kind of warp speeds the chemistry or the battle-tested nature of it?
When it's working, yeah. When it's not working, obviously, you see the growing pains that we haven't had the chance to overcome. But with the talent that we have and some of the guys that we have here, I think it makes up and it speeds up the process.
Darvin, unprompted, brought you up for heating up when the team was struggling to get anything going, and saying that really turned things around for the team tonight. What was kind of going through your head when nobody was getting anything going and you just kind of took over there?
I mean, it's hard to answer what was going through my head being in it. But honestly, you just kind of try to take what the game's giving you. Every game's different. Being in a position where you can either score or pass, just take what the game's giving you. Tonight, kind of made some shots when it mattered, and that's what we're talking about now. But I try to do whatever it takes.
Big-time moments for D'Angelo Russell tonight. Lakers would go down 7, and he'd hit 2 straight threes to pull them within 1, and then hit another 3 as well, and that kind of changed the momentum of the game. Now, listen, it didn't solidify anything, but I thought it gave the Lakers a shot. And then, obviously, LeBron gets the bucket before overtime, or to get the Lakers to overtime, and then the Lakers handle business from there. Speaking of LeBron James, when we come back, we'll get a chance to hear from him. Save the best for last. Stay right here. This is the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710.
Sliwa.
117-111 the final score. Lakers win in OT. Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Visit vistapaint.com and start saving. Points in the Paint tonight. 58-54 give Memphis the advantage, but the Lakers win by 6. LeBron, very curious to get his thoughts on the game. Plays 45 minutes, 22 points, 20 rebounds, and 7 assists along with 2 blocked shots. Here's Bron on the Lakers win.
LeBron, we've seen the drives at the hoop and finishes a lot of times before to force OT and then late in OT, either side of the paint, but first time in your career, 20 rebounds. Just wondered where you found the legs for that and then still managed to get to the rim and finish.
I don't know where I found the legs, honestly, but understanding how great of a rebounding team they are, it's very important that we try to clean glass when they miss. I know we still, gave up 16 offensive rebounds for 24 second chance points, so we still got to do a better job of that. But just trying to do my part.
Can you recall a playoff game, where you were lining up to take multiple charges in a fourth quarter, and just your overall approach to tonight, getting the rebounds, low turnovers, charges, blocks, things of that nature? This is an example of how you will do what the game dictates.
That's always been me. Whatever it takes for the team to be successful, or, just trying to be as great as I can be offensively, but even more important on the defensive end. And so that was the kind of the mindset tonight. And I was able to make a couple plays to help us be successful.
LeBron, this deep into your career, there aren't a lot of firsts left to accomplish, but a 2020 game, this is the first one you've ever had. Was it just sort of kind of the night sort of dictated it? And then I guess moving forwards, what do you think it's going to take to close this team out in Memphis?
I don't know. Obviously the game is played, and you have to be able to adjust to how the game is being played and try to make plays, and defensive rebound and offensive rebound, and you get an opportunity to get in there and get scrappy, obviously versus this team, you go and do it. The closeout game is always the hardest game of a series. It's the most tiring one, it's the most brutal one, and we better be ready for it, and I think we'll be ready for it.
LeBron, that last bucket you had to make it 113-108, you turned to the crowd, you're screaming and flexing. Can you take us to the emotion of that moment and kind of sealing the game?
I just how momentum plays are made, and you've been a part of moments where you know that you can kind of get like a kind of a dead play or a kill shot, and I feel like that play right there, after I was able to make that and one kind of, I won't say close the door, but it sealed it a little bit. It wasn't much light at the end for that particular, for the rest of the game. So just letting the emotion come out, and the fans was once again, top-notch tonight for a second consecutive game.
Hi, Brian. Couple of questions. One is, when you get it up over Jaren Jackson Jr., is that the highest you've had to throw it up over someone to get it to bank in a layup there? And also, the last time out that you called, I think you and Darvin were calling it at the same time. Was that fatigue? Was that just people needed breath, or just you just knowing the moment?
I work on different layup packages. Tier 1 is a layup just right underneath the rim where you lay it off the glass. Tier 2 is like the middle of the glass or the middle of the square. And then Tier 3 is over top of the square. Shout out to Chris Johnson. We work on those depending on the shot blocker. So I've had moments where I've been able to scoop those high layups. One to come to mind is, I don't remember which finals it was, but in Golden State I was able to drive right, keep the ball in my right hand, and underhand scoop it high over KD in a game. You remember that play, right, Dave? Yeah, 17, yeah. So it's not the first time I've done it. Oh, yeah, I was burnt. Meaning I was exhausted. Sorry. I apologize. Sorry.
LeBron, when you're in those moments late in the game, when you are exhausted and you need to find another level, how do you do that?
You just dig deep and understand that you'll be able to sleep at some point, just not right now. And this is not the time to rest or, forget about an assignment. You'll have more than enough time after the game and the next day to kind of rest and try to decompress as much as possible. So I just dig deep and just try to, just make plays. That's all.
LeBron, do you ever amaze or surprise yourself?
Yep. When?
Did that happen tonight?
When my teammates told me I had 20 and 20, I had no idea that I had 20 and 20. And it's the first time I've done it in my career. I've done some pretty good, cool things in my career. I've never had 20 and 20 before, so that was pretty cool, I guess.
Rachel. LeBron, we were joking in the locker room that not only did you have 20 and 20, you broke a 50-year-old record. You're the oldest player to do that. Wilt did it 50 years ago. How is it meaningful to you that you're doing new things at this age?
Just trying to keep my body in the best possible, shape to go out and perform. And these are the moments that I love. I love the postseason. Obviously, I've been a part of a lot of the games. I just love being able to make plays and be out there with my teammates to give them experiences that they may, never had before. This is Austin's first playoff series, and we was talking after the game, and he was just talking about how much he loved, this. Like he said, it's the greatest thing he's ever been a part of, like basketball-wise. He said something else, but I can't repeat it. But and that brought a lot of joy to me that I could be in a position where I can be a part of someone's experience that this is the greatest thing basketball-wise they've ever done. That's pretty cool to me.
All right, that's LeBron James right there. And LeBron kind of giving his perspective on it. First 2020 that he's been a part of. Kind of crazy. At age 38 is when LeBron's part of a 2020. Solomon in Lake Balboa. Solomon, appreciate you calling in. What's going on?
Hey, Alan, I'm good. Thank you so much. A couple of things. LeBron is absolutely ridiculous at 38 years of age to what he's doing, to still end up being arguably the best player on the floor at his age like that. So hats off to him. D'Lo, the interviewer asked him, what were you thinking? That's just it. He wasn't. It was like maybe before he got in, he goes, we need points, bang. And, 3 in a row was incredible. Going forward, I'm just hoping the Lakers do not go into cruise control because, we've talked about it before. The longer the series goes on, the more confidence Memphis gets. They beat you once here at Crypto, and, you lose Game 5 and you come back and you think you just wrap it up in Game 6. I don't like that kind of mentality because that can be real iffy. And you got a Game 7 back in Memphis, all bets are off, So I'm happy with tonight's win. I think it's great. I hope they keep that momentum and just wrap it up if they can in Memphis.
I appreciate you calling in. So let me say this as far as Game 5 goes. I think it's going to be a tough game. I mean, wouldn't you be – surprised is not the right word. But if they go to Memphis – and end this series on Memphis's home floor, that's pretty damn impressive. And if it doesn't happen, then you do obviously have that opportunity to close out in Game 6. I know what you're saying. The longer it gets extended, it's easy to kind of get worried about what could happen the longer it goes. But it's also not going to be a walk in the park walking into Memphis and closing this thing out in 5. We'll see what happens. I'll tell you what, if it happens, I'd be incredibly impressed. All right, here's Anthony Davis on the Lakers win.
After 31-17 in Game 3, your numbers don't reflect, the standard you've been able to perform in this series. But how do you feel walking away from Game 4, knowing that you had the block on Ja at the end of the fourth quarter, and then were able to make plays in overtime?
I feel really good. Man. I'm all about getting wins, no matter how I do it, how we do it. Things not gonna always be perfect. Sometimes you got to win ugly. Sometimes you don't play well, but still try to leave your imprint on the game. And that's what I try to do tonight on the defensive end. Had some good looks, missed them, but still try to do the little things to help the team win.
One of the things that you guys obviously won a title together, you and LeBron, but one of the things you guys didn't get to experience was the emotion of big wins and big plays and big moments here. What was it like to kind of see him hit that? I guess he called it maybe a game ceiling layup, and both of you guys just huge roars. Can you just kind of describe the emotions of that moment?
Man, it's fun. This is fun. Going to overtime. We didn't play well as a unit. Obviously, they had some guys who made shots. And then going to overtime and able to get a victory. Get the game-winning, game-sealing layup by him, the and one. And it's the energy of the crowd. Our fans have been phenomenal. So we kind of just feed off of them. And like you said, we didn't get that opportunity when we were on our playoff run in the bubble. You do it, but it's you're doing it to no one, or the fans that was on the screen. But to have it here, sellout crowd, 20,000, it's unbelievable.
Mark? Hey, D, how's your hip holding up overall right now, and what were the things you're trying to do to fight through all that through the course of the game?
Just wanted to play. It's been bothering me probably a week and a half now. But there's no way I was coming out. Just try to give whatever I could to the team. I'll be fine, though. We do what we're supposed to do Wednesday. Then I get a couple of days to kind of let it calm down and get back to normal. But take care of it tonight, tomorrow, and get ready for Wednesday's game.
AD, in the bubble, you guys closed out 3 series in Game 5. Obviously a little different there. They would have been on your home court, but they weren't. In this case, it's in Memphis. Just wondered your sense of a closeout game against this type of team and how significant the chance to get the chance at it after tonight's victory.
Yeah, it's a desperate team, and they play desperate. They play with a lot of energy, a lot of effort, make plays. That environment is very hostile. They support their team very well. We know that we can win there. We've done it. And, closeout games are always the toughest, especially when you're on the road. So our mindset, our attention to detail has to be ultra locked in. We can't go in and have a slow starter or mess around with the game, because then we'd be coming back here for Game 6. So, we did what we were supposed to do at home. Was able to still win in Memphis, Game 1. So now, we got to come in with a defensive mindset, and taking it one possession at a time.
Hey, D, during your guys' championship run in 2020, you struggled with being your own worst critic when you weren't playing up to what you considered your standard. Tonight, when the game wasn't going your way, you kept fighting through that and had a couple of huge plays down the line. How have you grown in that sense, just in terms of your mentality?
I'm still my own worst critic, man. I'm very hard on myself. You always want to play well, but things don't go that way, and I've kind of, embedded that in my mind that, you're not always going to play perfect, you're not always going to make a shot or make shots, but you can always control the little things you do, energy, effort, rebounding, blocking shots, defending, things like that. So setting screens so guys can get open. And when that goes away, then, that's when you kind of don't leave your imprint on the game. So even though I wasn't making shots, I still wanted to leave my imprint and do the little things, the intangibles, that don't really show up on the stat sheet. But I just keep fighting. I just keep playing no matter what, knowing that at any moment, you can make a shot. At any moment, you can make a play that changes the way the game is going and help the team win. So that's been my mindset since I've been playing.
All right, that's Anthony Davis right there. AD, explain. I think the thing that stands out to me the most is for Anthony Davis, when you look at his performance tonight, you look at the performance in the last game, you look at his performance in Game 2, it's just all over the place. So I don't think we really know what we're going to get from AD on a night-in, night-out basis. Sounds like that hip's bothering him, been bothering him for a week and a half. So you heard him say that if they could wrap up stuff on Wednesday, wrap up this series, it gives him the amount of rest that he needs. So keep an eye out for that. Isn't that more incentive to try to close out this series? Okay, couple shout-outs here. I know we went a little long in the post-game show, but obviously for postseason games, we'll continue to just try to make sure we get all the calls in, and we also listen to all the players. Thank you to Michael Funches. Thank you to Laura Romo. Thank you to Wilbert Flores, and thank you to Rebecca Womble on the social side of things. DeAndre Hawkins and Parker Bell, appreciate everything they did. Our next broadcast is coming up on Wednesday, so Grizzlies will host the Lakers for Game 5 here in round 1. Local coverage will begin at 3, tip-off set for 4:30. Just a reminder before we even get to Wednesday, tomorrow we're all back. We're all doing our local shows. So Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max will start things off at 6 a.m. Myself and Travis Rogers, Mason and Ireland, then Sedano and Cap. I have Lakers talk tomorrow night, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., so we'll be reacting to this Lakers win all day tomorrow, so make sure that you tune in. Appreciate everybody being a part of the show. Lakers over the Memphis Grizzlies, 117-111 the final score in OT. This has been the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
The Lakers win Game 4 of the series against the Grizzlies, and the Lake Show take a 3-1 series lead. Time to close this thing out on Wednesday night.
Lakers basketball on ESPN LA is sponsored by...
Driven by Subaru of Glendale, the #1 volume Subaru retailer in the USA. Your next Subaru is waiting for you at Subaru of Glendale and SubaruofGlendale.net. Delivered by Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker Pizza has 6 extra-large slices, big enough to hold more cheese on a crispy, fluffy crust that you gotta fold just to eat. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.